So in this video, I'm going to be working on some items that you can gather your collections together and display them beautifully. So I'm going to start off with this sweet little, I bought this on a Whatnot. She sold it as a butter pat holder. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really like the whole vibe of the metal and the holes. I'm like, I love it, but I think we can make it better. So we're going to paint it and add a little something back here to give it a little bit more character. So I'm going to start off with this piece and we are going to spray paint it a different color. Somebody had a reason for what, it looks like a letter holder, and then they wanted to attach it to something. So maybe it's a piece of parts to something, I don't know, but let's make it stand out a little bit more than this gunmetal gray. Of course, my go-to is going to be the Rust-Oleum Laurel Green. I love this stuff. I love the color and it does well. Okay, we're going to flip this over and get that other side. Now I want to seal my paint in, so I'm going to use some weather defense. How cute is this? So weather defensed it to seal everything, and for some reason that Laurel Rust-Oleum paint likes to stay sticky. I don't know why, but oh, I love that little thing. That is so cute. But it does have the odd of like hanging it. I'm sure that it was industrial and somebody needed it, but I have one thing in my pocket. Literally, I put it in my pocket, and I thought this number 3 would be adorable on it. I don't have a lot of numbers to choose from. I used the 4 that I picked up. I don't know if they're house numbers, but they're porcelain for my 4th of July displays in my own home. So, but I thought, okay, how can I get this on there? Because metal on metal. So I was going to see if I could be talented enough to wrap some wire through the holes and then wrap it into those holes and then like twist it to hold it on. Just add a little bit more character. I just have this rusty crusty, oh hey, there's a piece right there. I didn't want it to be like in your face, you know. So let's see. So we'll take that. I need another piece. Okay. Only that piece was cut. Thrifted. Save the weirdest things sometimes out of auction hauls, but sometimes, like this moment, it makes sense. That's probably how I got the extra pieces, because I made it too long. Okay, so in these little holes, it's always a good idea until you have to try to do it. So almost put my 3 upside down. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay, so now keep pulling it through little by little. Cut some of that off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that end. The hard part is the one that's going to be in there, and then I'm just going to start to twist it. And the twist should be bigger than the hole. That way it stays in there. Pretty much this is just holding it. There, I got it. Yay! When I saw this piece, I don't know if it was a spice rack, what it was supposed to be. It is actually like super shiny. I don't know what the kind of board it is. So I'm hoping to be able to sand it to get it to be able to grip some paint. But I like little creamers. Oh, those are so highly sought after right now that that would be a beautiful way to display them. Gather them all together. You could actually even do butter pat stacks on this too. I don't know, because this is so small. I think I'm just going to take the little hangers off. Somebody really wants it, they can put them back on, put something back on, but to cover the holes, this is just some air dry clay. They're just little bitty holes, so not any big deal. I'll just fill them up with some of that. I don't really know what the type of wood this is. Maybe it's a composite, maybe, I don't know. But I know that it's like super smooth and paint would just like not really adhere very well to it. So I've got some like 120 grit to kind of get into that. I don't know, it seems to be wood. Okay, we got it sanded. I got it sort of dusted off, and now I'm just going to, yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, it does. It feels hollow, though. I don't really know, but I do think it's a cool little display piece. And I'm glad that I was able to sand it. I did my best to get this sanded as much as I possibly can, but now I want to fill it in and give it something to grab onto, and shellac will do that. I thought this would be fun. Oh, sweet potato, which is like an orange. I'm kind of matching up to the hue of what this wood is. So same thing, I'm going to do a drier paint, see if I can get it to be chippy and crackly. That is not a dry paint. Oh, shoot. Add some more. You know as soon as you add it. Like, oh, that's not dry. Just keep mixing until you get what you want. There we go. Now I can feel that texture. Giving me a little bit of resistance and not just flowing through like water is what I was looking for. I taped off the bottom to make my job easier. Even though I sanded it, the shellac sealed it back in. So no big deal. So yep. Well, I might add a little, now that it's thickened up even a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. Got to be able to spread it around. Get all those difficult areas first. So I'm going to see how much I can get it sanded a little bit, because of course now I got bumpies, but wonderful crackling crazing going on there. Oh, isn't that fun? It's just fun. It's a fun color. Okay, now I'm going to sand that crusty edge before waxing. Go for Aging Wax by Fusion. It's just a nice, it looks dark, but it's not. It just gets into those little cracks and crevices from the milk paint where it did wonderful things to make this look like it has been hot and cold and old and worn. And Oh. My heart wanted it to be green, but I was being good for you all. This piece, I don't think this is the original box, but look at all those little gingham jelly samplers that, nope, no jelly in there, y'all. It's empty. And I'm like, oh, I have to have that. But I don't think this folk art box, I don't mind the heart because hearts are trending again. But I do think we can hopefully give this a little bit better, like, to go with it. Don't know what that piece of tape was. There's a tape on the bottom. So I think we can give it a little bit better vibe to go with the little ginghams. Oh, the cuteness factor of this piece. So let's get these off and see what, yeah, so it was a display of some sort. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay, so just a piece of plastic that's green. All the labels are there, the Swiss Colony. Okay, so I'm going to set these off because we're not doing anything to these other than dusting them off. Oh, look at the little on the top. So I just took the Made in China sticker off. So it's nothing antique primitive. It's just a reproduction. I think it's just pressed board, but we can make it cuter, y'all. And then I don't know if this is just a paper or if it's really painted. I can feel that it's raised, so we're going to get it sanded anyway. I don't know. I don't know. Before I go crazy, that back, I can probably find a coordinating color to go with that. That is actually very cute. This on the other hand, you know, so. Okay, now press board is like wood pulp. So you don't want to wet it too much because it will swell. So we do need to get it dusted off though. And I wasn't worried about taking the whole image off because all I would be doing is exposing that press board underneath. So we just want to do the smooth test, and that's where crackling chippy paint comes in. You won't see it that way then. So we're going to tape off those areas. Like I said, I'm going to try to coordinate a color. I already have a color in mind now that I've seen that, but tape off those other areas. There we go. Now we need to seal in this piece, especially where that paper artwork is. So I'm going to do a few coats, like at least 2, if not 3, to try to fill in that MDF board that revealed itself while I was sanding. I think that this color matches the in England nook. Anyway, so we're going to be using the fusions. I think I already covered that up, but I think that's kind of the hue that I'm looking for. So like a soft, it's going to be soft. And this is fusions paint, so it has a paint and primer. What is it? 3-in-1. Paint, primer, and top coat all in one. See how this shellac is just attracting that paint? Oh, that's making it so much easier. And I always say that I only show spraying 1, but I usually will do 2. If I think it needs 3 coats, I'll do 3 coats of shellac. So don't think like 1 coat is enough. I mean, a lot of times the item is just soaking in the shellac. I had wax on my hand. Hey, you'll have that. So I'm just going to sand it. I'm not going to really distress it because it's not very pretty underneath what was there. So we just want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. This does have a top coat in it. So I want to open up that top coat because I kind of want to try to wax it to match what the back and the bottom are, or get close anyway. I think that that's a close match. Oh, I put my gloves on. Okay, so I'm going to take the back off before waxing. And apparently I'm going to take it off by little bitty pieces. Little bitty pieces. But I do think, like, the hue of the green definitely matched pantry door. Took off every little piece that I possibly could, one by one, because it did not want to. Oh, goodness. So we're going to get that crusty edge where the paint builds up. It's okay that it's not perfect, y'all. We definitely put too much pressure on ourselves to be like have this perfect. Oh, I missed a spot. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see how if we. I mean, it's not going to be an exact match. I know. But I have an idea. I have an idea. Did you know my idea? DIY decrepit dust. I almost think that might. Well, because this paint has top coat in it, so it's not accepting the wax very easily. See? See? See, senor? There you go. That's the color we were looking for. Which is an aged color. And you're probably thinking, but it's closed. You can't see your yummies. I sell items better when I take doors off. People do love to see their yummies. They love to see their collections. And so we'll be taking this door off and making it so it can be opened and you can see all those beautiful collections. So as I said, I'm going to be taking the hinges off, taking the door off. Look at, somebody had a $40 price tag on it. on it. So I only just need to really take off. Hopefully they're flatheads, so they've been on there a while. And then we don't need this because we're not going to be closing a door. So, and who's to say you can't totally can make a sign out of that? Some kind of sign anyway. So, oh, I think the hinges were painted. I think they were painted on. Since I'm going to be sanding this, I'm just going to do the same thing I did earlier where I just put some air dry clay in here. Just to fill in those little holes. Oh. I'm thinking that might need tightened. Alrighty then. I wasn't expecting that to move. I don't think this is supposed to move. The one thing you do notice about this piece is how much the paint is just dirty. So I'm glad we're repainting it. So honestly, now that I have it out, I think it's green. In the inside, it kind of looked blue, but I do think that it is that old-timey green. So alrighty then, I think I have something that can coordinate with that and not have to try to spend all that time, even though that's pieces out, to make it easy. You know, less work you can do on yourself, but you still want it to look good. You don't want to like skip a step just because you don't want to do the inside. You can, you know, make a coordinating color, and there's nothing wrong with the paint inside. As you see, the outside was very, very dirty. But might as well wipe out the inside while I have the shelf out. There is a little bit of discoloration in the inside, like a yellow hue, but I'm not trying to make this look like a brand new piece. So we're just trying to make it look better than what it was. So it's not like you can really get in there to like. So I'm going to use some Starbond CA glue. Get a good bead going on there. Get this put in the right way. Actually, I'm going to spray first. Yes, it has an accelerator. Then I'm just going to hold it for the 15 seconds and pray for the best. I think the coordinating color, which should be pantry door. So that's what I'm going to use. But on the outside, I want to make it look a little bit more chippy-ish. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to do 3. Give or take a little bit. And I'm going to do 2.5. I can always add more. Nope, I think that's good. Nope, just pantry drawer straight up, nothing added to it. Okay, so I made a thicker paint, not any priming, not any shellac or anything like that, to hope that it will get some crackling on there. Now, it's not any big deal if I don't like what this paint color looks like with the inside. We will just paint the inside. It's just paint. Because I can already tell that has more of a blue base, but that's okay. That's why I tape off, and I don't have to be so careful about not getting any on the back or on the bottom that there's no sense of wasting paint for. This old-timey green, shades of green, that it sells, so why would you do something that's not going to sell for you? I am very impressed. Look at that inside. I thought when that had that cream on there that it was blue, like a turquoise inside. I did not repaint this inside. It is the same color as pantry door. So awesome, awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and it got that thick paint. Look at that. No shellac, no nothing, y'all. We just put the paint on super thick. Don't look for that perfect covering every spot because you are looking for an old finish. But I'm going to go ahead and sand it, give it a little bit of distressing here at the edges, get the little pieces that didn't mix up. I'm not looking for this perfect paint job. I'm looking for something that has been around and it's doing its job here. Now I don't want to darken my paint up, but I do want to get some dark into the crackle so it pops. So I'm going to take Fusion's clear wax and I'm going to seal that in with that first, which will darken the paint up a little bit, but it doesn't get into those crevices. Like I want you to see that detail. So wipe on, wipe off, aging wax. Now, if I did it the opposite way, it would darken up my paint, and that's not what I'm looking for. But see, oh yeah, see, it gets into all those little, without darkening it up. Oh, love it. So of course, it's a repeated process. Make sure that you don't have crusty edges. Nobody wants crusties. Nope. This one, no brainer. Come on, with Bible stacks, cookbooks, your favorite books, nightstand, dresser, kitchen, just a place to display your yummies. I love that it has a couple little drawers that you can hide stuff in. It just needs a little bit of a pop. Okay, now we're going to so the drawers out. Luckily they come out. Tag off. I do think that I want to change these wooden knobs out, so I'm going to just go ahead and see if I can get them to come off. Now what I want to do is do a coordinating color so I don't have to spend the time trying to do inside this box and in here. And I don't know what kind of wood this is either. It's very lightweight. So that knot definitely tells me that it's wood. So yay, it's just a light wood. So we're going to go ahead and get it washed off. I'm doing some taping off of the areas I'm not going to paint on this. So like I said, I'm just going to be doing the drawer faces. Give it a little bit of a sideline there. But when it comes to the back, there's an option of flipping your drawer like this and pulling it out and then putting some small yummies on top of that. So I don't want that line to be there. So I'm going to tape all the way, oh, I think I got it, all the way there to the end. So there's just a line here, here, and then this will be, so if you want to flip it over. I want to have a coordinating color, so I'm not going to go like far off the shade. So I'm going to be using Sweet Pickins flour sack and an antique ironstone to kind of create a concoction that will might come close, may not come close, but it has more of an aged, crackling, chippy paint look to make this piece look older. So I'm going to take I'm going to make it kind of a dry mixture, so not terribly a lot of water, because directions say equal parts water. And I'm not going to do that with this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 flour sacks. And then I'm going to add 1/2 of the antique ironstone. We'll take away that bright white. And then 1, 2, and I think I'm just going to do 1/2. And then we'll see how that mixes up. I can add more water. Yeah. If it's not going to mix up at all, you definitely need to add more water. Big difference, isn't it? Like a little half a scoop. So yes, 3 flour sacks and then 1/2 of the antique ironstone. Okay, we're gonna start painting. Like I said, it's much thicker paint. I did not shellac this. I did not prime it. I'm just gonna let the paint do what the paint will do, and I'm gonna put it on the thicker side, which is going to take longer to dry, but I shouldn't have to do multiple coats. And hopefully it will do its magic and crackle and chip for me. And when you mix it up thicker, you might have to make another batch up. Just how it goes. But you're not putting on multiple coats, so that's another huge thing. Like, instead of putting on 3 coats, you're just putting on 1 thick coat. The fun with any product is getting to experiment with it. Thick paint sure does give some amazing character, doesn't it? Look at that crackle. Oh, and like 1 coat, you have to wait hours for it to dry. I don't rush the process trying to do a heat gun or anything like that. I just let it dry. There's always stuff to do. So now I'm going to go ahead and sand it and distress it just a little. Especially when you're doing like the thick like that, you get these little bumps of the powder that wasn't completely mixed. So I dusted this off with just a wet wipe, and look what started to happen. So instead of just sealing it in with clear wax first before antiquing wax it, I'm going to seal it in with some weather defense. I love that, but I don't want it to all peel off. Okay, now weather defense is dry. I'm going to go in with some Fusion aging wax, and we're going to bring out all that yummy, crazy, crackling, all the imperfections from the paint that I was trying to do on purpose. I wanted to crackle. Hey, like crackle, like chip off. So putting the clear coat on it and kind of pushing it back down kind of acted like an adhesive, and I'm like, I don't want you to completely chip off there, buddy. What are you doing? But that tone underneath this, I think, is gorgeous. Oh, I don't think I'll ever tire of that. I know I won't. I'm not going to tire of that. I just love it. You have to remove that tape again, get that hard, crusty edge off. So I'm just adding some porcelain knobs, just finding screws that fit. There's just something about these little porcelain knobs that I thrifted, and I'm glad that I picked them all up because I've used them. It's such a classic look. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Yes, a pretty place to put your amazing collections, be it whatever you collect, Bibles, butter pats, little creamers, just a place to display your yummies and get to appreciate. Yes, I sell cabinets better when they're open and people can see what's inside of them. That's just how it goes. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and you can see what I'm up to. Bye.